Welcome to the Coast to Coast Pick 5 seminar for Saturday, February 18th. And Georgie, we've got a huge weekend here at the Great Race Place. Tons of things going on all weekend.
All weekend long, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Special day of racing on Monday. Don't forget that. And it's dollar days. I love that with the $2 hot dogs, dollar beers, dollar sodas. A lot of excitement. Mardi Gras. We got a big Mardi Gras celebration. I already got my Mardi Gras costumes on. We're going to have contests. It's going to be a fun week.
And, of course, the ever-popular Corgis running on Sunday, George. That always draws a huge crowd. It looks like the weather's going to be nice, should be big.
We already got over 2,000 people coming out to that on the infield. So they love the Corgi races. We're selling some Corgi stuff in the gift shop. We're selling these fantastic hats in the gift shop. Look at this hat. Is this a good hat there, Ryan?
It's beautiful. I love that hat.
Don't you love this
I like
hat?
it.
I do. That's stylish. I like it.
And they are awesome. So come get a hat and have a great time this weekend.
You look
Love
like, what's his name? He used to be the quarterback for Carolina.
Yeah.
Oh, Cam Newton.
Cam
Cam
Newton.
Newton.
That's awesome.
They're selling the Cam Newton signature hats.
Come get it. Come get it. It's beautiful.
Seminar Skip, what's going on, buddy? Looking forward to a big weekend?
Looking forward to a big weekend. We got a big day tomorrow. It's your birthday, and looking forward to that, buddy. We
need to
got
get
great
some
racing all over, and hopefully we could get lucky. Looks like there's some great races and a couple chances to make some money. So hopefully we could get lucky for Chappie's birthday.
Well, we're bringing in our man from the bullpen, the ace from Trip Note Pros, Benny South Street, to help us out. Benny, how's it going?
And happy belated birthday to you, Skip. We got one in arrears and one we're looking forward to. You guys, I didn't know you were both born on what do we got? Valentine's Day week. That's impressive. Brothers from another mother.
Lots of February birthdays. Janie's birthday, my better half, hers was on the 7th, and Jason Avila was on the 4th. Zenyatta was on the 1st. And we got Lute. Tom Lute was on the 13th, and James is on the 17th, and a couple other friends are today's
Dave
also.
Weaver is the 12th, and there was a few others in there as well. So, yeah.
Apparently December is a stressful month for a lot of people.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Let's take the stress off of them and get right to this Coast to Coast Pick 5. Let's get some winners for tomorrow and make everybody happy going into the long weekend. First leg of the Coast to Coast Pick 5. Of course, the dollar bet and the low takeout. We go to race 3 at Santa Anita, which is 6.5 furlongs on the turf for maiden special weight California breds. Georgie, a.k.a. Cam Newton, what are you looking at here?
All right. It's a small field, and I think number 5 is the one that has some experience over the turf course. Has run some very good numbers, good thoroughgraph numbers over the turf course, and I think that gives him an edge over the rest of the field, and an edge over the morning line favorite Catalina Eddie, who, even though it's a square Eddie, certainly bred for the turf. Don't like the fact that one's breaking from the rail, and got to prove it to me on the turf first. So my top pick's going to be Moon Ice, but I'm probably going to use them both, the 1 and the 5, in the pick 5.
So George is thinking a little bit chalky here to start things off. Skipper, how you looking at race 3?
I like the way that the 2 worked. Kind of broke a tad slow, was in between horses, made the lead pretty easily, and then on the turn they just kind of pulled up, but I like the stride. This horse should love the grass, and I'm not sold with the horses that have run, especially the 3 and the 5. I don't like the race that they're coming out of. I might just go 1-2 here. Catalina Eddie by Square Eddie out of a Johar Dam. That horse will love the grass, or should love the grass. And then I'm going to take the first-time starter of Square Eddie out of or the Dam of Too Much Excess. That horse paid $385 for it. And usually Mario Gutierrez gets on the better one of the Redham horses. So I might just go 1-2 in here. I don't like the 3, and I don't like the 5, the race that they came out of.
Well, Benny, you're all about the trips. Anything you noticed from the races that Moon Ice
Just
Or
covering a couple of these. Moon Ice, I did think had some. I thought the trouble was overrated. So you really got to look at the bumping when they're leaving the gate. When you outbreak the horse that you come in contact with, a lot of times he can actually even nudge you forward or straighten you up a little bit. And I thought that's what happened on both of those points of contact leaving the gate for the 5. Did get some pressure early, but advanced out of it and ran clear through the turn. And then I thought just got outrun. That was the note that I had on the 5. The 3 I thought had a very, very good trip, stalked a duel, although they did go slow. It's kind of what we call an eyeball duel, where there is some stress involved just because they're looking at each other through the turn. I thought he had a beautiful stalking trip and should have run better in what I thought was a pretty slow run race. On the other hand, I thought Catalina Eddie's race was very, very professional. Was a little bit slow, made a nice split of horses on the backstretch. And then you see something that I saw something that you don't see often with a first timer. Slipped up the inside, was literally like on the one path and did it very well. There was no hesitation, bullied his way through that hole and ran on just fine. And what was actually a very fast race is bred for grass. I saw the tweet today from Santa Anita on Finally and Eddie was schooling in the paddock today. Looked like a monster in the paddock. Really, really looked like a nice horse getting his schooling done. But the knock that I had on Finally and Eddie, and maybe I'm fishing here a little bit because I really want to single the 1. I don't want to use the 1 and the 2. Doug O'Neill trained the dam of Finally and Eddie. And I find it interesting. A lot of times these Redham horses, they train with one guy. They end up in the same barn afterwards. And that doesn't happen here. This is in the Callahan barn, which I thought was a little bit interesting. Why not in the O'Neill barn? I'm going to single Catalina Eddie is the shorter version of my long story here.
And Catalina Eddie, like you said, comes out of a race where Buzz absolutely caught a flyer and was loose on the lead and just ran on. And Catalina made up some ground late that no one else was. All right, let's move on to leg number 2 here, and that would be the 10th at Gulfstream. We're going 5. Go ahead, George.
I just wanted to mention one thing really quick. After the 3rd race at Santa Anita, immediately afterwards here and really around the country, we're going to have a moment of silence for jockey Avery Wiseman, 23-year-old jockey who died following a struggle with some physical and mental demands of being a jockey. So combined with First Racing and the PDJF, we're going to have a moment of silence just to bring awareness to mental health and the challenges that are facing our industry. So that's going to be right after race number 3 here at Santa Anita. And I think if I'm not mistaken, like race 5 at Gulfstream.
Correct. Yep. And that'll be something that's very important to do. We move on to the second leg, which is the 10th at Gulfstream, 5 furlongs on the turf. And Benny and I were talking beforehand. Kind of interesting fact here about the horses running in this race, huh, Benny?
Well, we got a full field. I mean, almost a full field. We've got 9 runners. We're going 5/8 on grass, and none of the runners have any recency on turf, which I find very, very interesting. It's a logical spread race. I landed on 3 different horses, 3, 4, and 5. The one that I think is the sneakiest is the 5. Had just a horrendous trip. None of it shows up on paper. Completely stymied, lost all kinds of ground, got spun wide. The Comet 1 paced late. Okay. But was just a miserable trip beforehand and has shown some good form in the past on turf. I did think that the 3 and the 4 were interesting. Although I'm not really sure. We look at the 3 that Grigor's ridden that horse every time on paper and lands on a horse on the outside who's been eased twice, which doesn't give me a whole lot of confidence. I'm not sure if the troubled trip caused him to lose the mount, which is possible because he did have some trouble, which does show up in the PPs. And then I thought the 4 was potentially the speed of the speed. This guy's red hot, this new trainer. I'm not familiar with him, but numbers indicate that he's more than capable and looks to possibly control the pace on the front end. 3, 4, 5 with me, with my top pick being the 5.
Yeah, Skip, a little bit tricky here with nobody having any recency over the turf. It's kind of a guessing game here. What are you looking at? You spreading here?
I am spreading. On one of the tickets, I'm definitely going to hit the all button. My top play would be the 4, Brits Candyman. This horse is going to be probably in front, and I like this horse. It's run very well over the grass. And if you go back of March of last year, the Texas Glitter Stakes, it ran third to Big Invasion. Big Invasion was a monster, and just nobody was going to beat Big Invasion last year in these sprint turf races. So that race was very impressive. It got claimed last time. The trainer wins 16%. He's bringing it right back, to get claimed again for 20 if somebody wants to dip in. Another one that I'm going to use, and I'm hoping is the one Lovin' Makes Sense. This horse hasn't won on the grass, but it has a second out of 2 starts. It's in very sharp form. First race back in November off a little break, ran second by the horse that beat it came back and won. Then it's reeled off 3 wins in a row. Chantel's jumping aboard. That's a price horse that you might want to use. Like I said, on one ticket, I'm going to spread. I'm going to go all. I can't make heads or tails. I did see the same thing that Benny saw with the 3 horse with Kevin Krieger riding that horse all the time. And now he jumps to the outside horse, which he's never rode, but Luis Saez rode that horse last time. It's 20-1. So I don't have a strong opinion about anybody. My top play, if I had to pick one, would be the 4.
Georgie, you're the numbers guy here, but how do you go on numbers here? What do you do here when none of them have ran on the turf as of late? You go back to the past turf races, or just their current form on the Tapeta, or how do you do that?
Well, I mean, this is a race where I'm singling, so I love a horse in this race.
Wow.
And that's number 5, Feel the Beat. I think Feel the Beat is by far the best horse in the race. He's got the best thoroughgraph numbers on the Tapeta by far. His 2 grass races were the best numbers, thoroughgraph numbers on the grass of any other runner in the race. And although most of them have been running off the turf, everybody has at least 1 or 2 numbers on the turf, and they're not even close to Feel the Beat. Now you add to that Irad Ortiz riding for a trainer that really knows how to win. He just hasn't been able to put it together, and the 24 wins, just 1 start here. But he's much better than that. So you got a wonderful trainer, the best jockey there at Gulfstream right now, the best numbers, a good post position. I'm singling Feel the Beat. I love this runner in race number 10.
So Cam Newton is going the opposite of everybody else and feeling the beat here with a single at 4-1 with Irad Ortiz coming back. I like it. All right, let's move on to the 3rd leg, which is race 4 at Santa Anita. We're going 1 mile and a 16th on the main. Skipper, what do you see here? Looks like some speed on the inside with the 1 stretching out, and Delta Wind likes to go. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, the 1's definitely going to go from the inside, stretching out of those sprint races with Maldonado on, breaking from the rail. They're going to send, and we'll see how far this one could go. Another difficult race for me. I'm going to use a couple in here. I thought Microshare ran like maybe it needed a race last time. Comes out of the same race as Big Switch. I just thought it maybe was a little short that day. It's come back. It's worked twice since. Frankie Dettori jumps aboard for Mike Smith. And I thought Microshare probably would be my top play. You got to use Big Switch. I mean, this horse likes to win. It likes Santa Anita. It just got a little tired late. It was a heavy favorite that day. I'm just not sure about this horse going 2 turns yet. I think, I don't know. It's 1 going 2 turns and it won easily, 1 mile and 16th. I think this horse might be a better late running sprinter to me, but we'll see. It won very nicely, like I said, back in May of last year. But I'm going to use the 1 in case I think the 1's going to be in front, and we'll see how far it goes. I'm going to use the 4 and I'm going to use the 6. So no secrets. I'm just hoping the 1 could shoot clear, which I think she will. And hopefully she could keep going. And at 8-1, I'll take a little shot there.
Georgie, small field, but kind of interesting pace-wise. What are you looking at here?
Yeah, you got to use the 6 big switch. Won half of her races. She looked impressive in many of them, earning some strong thoroughgraph numbers. Smooth Like Butter has got some really strong thoroughgraph numbers. And you talk about a tandem that has taken this meet by storm. Steve Knapp and Pereira have been winning, and the ROI is off the charts. I mean, these guys have been teaming up for some big victories. So you leave them off at your peril. I mean, they're doing way too good. And the one that I like the best is number 3, Rose Maddox. Even though Rose Maddox lost the big switch back in the Mel Air, I saw that race live last time out that Rose Maddox won, the Moscow Burning. Man, did she look visually impressive. She was really a good-looking gray, came after Chancree, and boy, that was very impressive. Another jockey who has been impressive is Hector Berrios, especially with closers. So he jumps aboard Rose Maddox for the first time. And so I'm going to be using those 3 with Rose Maddox, my top pick at just because that last race was so impressive.
A little bit different of opinion here. Benny, what are you looking at here in the third leg?
Well, my selections here are kind of as a result of me going chalk in leg 1. I don't have the morning line printed in my PPs because I do it pretty early. I'm assuming Big Switch is one of the favorites. I'm going to be fading Big Switch. I'm assuming Micro Share's going to be down to the lower tier as well. Both of these fillies, I've liked them both. To me, I'm kind of divorced from them. I thought Big Switch had everything her own way last time. I know it was off a layoff, but was against, I thought, some fillies that she should have handled, and she got grinded down. And Micro Share has been a little bit green in the past, and she will be coming from off the pace. She's going to take some kickback and have to overcome that, I think. Manarelli's the controlling speed. I will not be leaving the 1 off my tickets. I agree with George. I think Rose Maddox is interesting. Third off the form cycle as a 4-year-old. I think she's primed. She's handled dirt in the past. And she's run just fine against a horse that was very sharp in victory in Big Switch last year. But again, that was early 3-year-old campaign time. Smooth Like Butter last time I thought ran very, very well. I know it shows up nicely on the thoroughgraphs, like George says, because it was very, very wide. That horse in defeat was impressive down the lane. You can just tell when these horses switch leads and they are firing through the lane. Very fast cadence, strong gallop out. 1, 3, 7 for me. I think Manarelli is a potential single. I think this horse is the controlling speed, and if you want to get skinny, I think you could potentially single the 1. Big Switch is better stalking, and I don't think Delta Wind is going to press the 1 as well. I think they're going to kind of vie for that stalking position. I think one of them is going to get it, but Manarelli is going to be the controlling speed in this race.
So hopefully Manarelli can sneak away at a big price there. Big price, small field, big price. And 8-1 in the morning line, you might get every bit of that. All right, let's move on to the 4th leg. Race 11 at Gulfstream. We're going 1 mile and a 16th in the Royal Delta. And Skippy, can anybody beat the 2 Kathleen O? It's 7-5 on the morning line.
Well, I hope so, because I'm going to be singling the 5 Classy Edition. I know that Kathleen O beat Classy Edition back of March of last year, but I really think Classy Edition is improved as a 4-year-old. It's got that race out recently, and it's come back to work 3 times, but that was visually very impressive to me. I put in my notes, I love the way she won. She's going to have tactical speed. She's going to get good position. And Irad Ortiz, I'm singling Classy Edition. I'm just hoping that Kathleen O, maybe they're looking more down the line for this filly. And she's been very impressive. I mean, she reeled off 4 wins in a row, then ran very good in the Kentucky Oaks against Secret Oath and Nest. We know how good Nest is. And, so she might be a better filly down the road, but with the recency, I like Classy Edition. I will say something that's very interesting on the workout pattern of Kathleen O. If you go back January 22nd, January 29th, February 2nd, February 4th, have you ever seen that? a horse come back and work 2 days later, and then they wait till February 12th. I just thought that was very interesting. February 2nd and February 4th, this filly worked.
Very interesting. And Georgie, what do the numbers say there? I love the hat, by the way.
It's a great hat.
I love the scarf.
Fits like a glove, doesn't it?
It does
Cam
look like
Newton.
Cam Newton, doesn't he? Yeah.
Yes, I'm gonna start calling him Cam.
Cam, what are your thoughts here in the Royal Delta?
I'm going to try to score a few touchdowns here, and I think you're right that the workout pattern, the 29th of January, and then 4 days later, and then 2 days later. What is that about? I just never seen that. Really, really weird. But Shug McGahee, I mean, he's one of the best that ever trained. So she's one I'm going to be using, but I think a lot of them can win here. Midnight Stroll, the last two Thoroughgraph numbers were stellar. Classy Edition's last number was one of the best in the field. Tap Dance Fever is riding a 2-race win streak and has never looked better in her life. Now, you know, she's had to step it up, but that last figure ran a 3. So Tap Dance Fever ran a 3, Classy Edition ran a 3, Kathleen O ran a 3, and Midnight Stroll ran a 4 and a 2. So those I'm going to be trying to spread a little bit in this race and see if I can get lucky and beat both of the favorites, because the 5 is going to get a lot of money as well. Todd Pletcher, Irad, coming off a big win, is probably going to get a lot of play.
Benny, what are your thoughts here as Georgie looks to be spreading and Skip is singling here?
I've got nothing creative to add. The 2, the 3, or the 5 is going to win. Just don't know who it is. The 3, this is I like that work pattern a lot. December 9th, 14 and 3. That's a nice fitness workout going 3 quarters. I wouldn't have thought this horse would have rattled off a 59 and flat, breezing at Tampa. Followed that up with a nice even work going a half. That's a nice work pattern. Otherwise, I probably would lean towards 2 or 5. But, you know, from an equity standpoint, it makes no sense to use all of them. I don't know who it's going to be just yet. So, but I think one of those 3 has to win this race.
All right, so it looks a little bit chalky in there, and unless maybe Midnight Stroll, a little bit of a price at 6-1 in the morning line. All right, we finish it up in race 5 at Santa Anita, going 1 mile and 1/8 on the turf. Cam, what are your thoughts here?
I think that I think it's good to see 3 Santa Anita races in the sequence. You know, most of the times it's 3 Gulfstream Park races, so it's good to see some 3 Santa Anita races. I thought it was a really tough race. My top pick's going to be Aloha Kitten. I love these Kitten Joys on the grass. Certainly seems that she's got some of the stronger Thoroughgraph numbers on the grass. Craig DeLassy is an excellent trainer. So is my top pick, but this is definitely a spread race. A short field, but it's highly competitive. Let's see what happens, but I'm going to try to use as many as I can.
Benny, what are your thoughts here to close out the last leg of the Pick 5?
I agree with George. I think the 2's got a swing. I also think the 1's interesting. I think I said I don't have the morning line, but the 1 ran a good race last time at Turf Paradise. Those things can transfer sometimes and surprise people. I've got nothing bad to say about the 1. The 4 is very interesting to me from a trips perspective. Obviously, coming out of a cheaper race, it's not too often you see Pratt get stymied in behind horses and target the wrong horse. But that's what happened last time. Got stopped and just absolutely exploded in the last 16th of a mile to just miss. That was an unlucky race in defeat. Would have run much, much faster. So 1, 2, 4 for me. You put a gun to my head, I'd probably land on the 1.
He's going to land on the 1 here, Skip, and like Benny just mentioned, Harper's Gallop visually, that when that horse finally got clear, the comment on the right is surged, and that is absolutely correct if you watch that replay. What are your thoughts here in the last leg?
You know, I'm with the other guys. 1's my top play. I've followed this combination with a lot. Vladimir Serin, when he's got horses for Pellman and Seymour, their win percentage, I don't know exactly what it is, but it's well over 50%. I mean, at least with the ones that I paid attention to. I think with Hernandez getting on, breaking from the rail, the one thing that does concern me, it might have missed a work here. January 28th, then not a work until February 11th, coming off a break. But that's probably going to be my top play. The 2 I'm definitely going to use, and Harper's Gallop. I'm going to use the 3. I know this horse doesn't like to win. 4 wins out of 42 starts, but I'm sure Benny saw this. That last race, it was up on the inside, and it was a little bit ranked, and it was kind of going in the turn. It was going up, and it clipped heels. The horse almost went down on the turn. And then the jock just kind of took up, and turning for home, he kind of let it go a little bit. That race was sneaky good. And, you know, I don't know if it could win, but at 20-1, this horse is going to be on my ticket. That's coming off a long layoff, almost a year. And the trainer does very well second time out. He wins 50%. I just, you know, and then look at the last race, January 8th of 22. That race wasn't bad. The buyers are right there, very competitive with the rest of the field. It lost by a neck. You know, and it ran against some good horses that like to win earlier or back in 21. So just for a crazy horse, the 3 is going to be on my ticket too at 20-1.
I absolutely agree with that. I picked that horse 3rd just because of the price, and the trip was ridiculous the last time out off of that long layoff. You've got to watch the replay to see it. So, all right, best bet of the day, Skipper.
Best bet of the day, for me, it's going to be Classy Edition. I really like the way that this horse won. I love the recency. I think it's going to get a great trip, and I think this horse has improved leaps and bounds from 3 to 4.
Benny.
Are we stuck in the coast to coast for the best bet?
You can go anywhere you want.
How about Accomplished Girl, race 6 at Gulfstream? Miserable trip on debut. Draws the rail, which is a good thing, going 5/8 on turf. Hopefully I'll get a square price. But let's go to Accomplished Girl in race 6 at Gulfstream.
It was 8-1 on the morning line. All right. Off the board. I like that. Accomplished Girl, race 6 at Gulfstream, 8-1 on the morning line, the rail horse. Cam, your thoughts, best bet.
Without question, anybody listening, I have a best bet for you to definitely get the Trip Note Pros if you can on every race day. That is your best bet every day because the information you're going to find there is second to none. Benny, our friend Benny South Street puts in so much hard work. And I just, you know, I don't have time to see all these replays. And a lot of times the commentary is, you know, just not indicative of what actually happened. You want to know what actually happened, and so getting some key runners is get with Benny South Street, and it's going to certainly help your day. How can they get those trip notes?
Well, the Coast to Coast Pick 5 is free, so all you got to do is get to the Santa Anita website and opt in. Or you can sign up at our website and we email you all the coast to coast trips as well. But obviously you can buy the information if you want it. If you want the full card, it's there for the taking. Accomplished Girl, race 6, quick run by. She was herded inward while being sent early, but was out quick by a wide runner that moved inward. It forced her to steady badly, and she lost 4 to 5 lengths in the early stages, which is somehow not mentioned by the chart caller. So just an absolutely miserable trip. She finished up well. She was against the pace, against the flow. We had that better than looked, and she traveled nicely through the lane as well. So put a couple, what do you call them, Chappie? Shekels? Shekels. Yeah. Couple shekels.
Couple shekels to win on that. All right, Georgie, one last time. Run through the weekend. What's going on?
Just a phenomenal weekend, all weekend long. We got Mardi Gras celebrations. Come take a taste of. You got some Cajun drinks and food. Saturday and Sunday, costume contest, a bunch of contests where you can win free money, free vouchers we're going to be giving out. Sunday, of course, is the corgi races. That's always so much fun.
Yeah.
We got a big crowd for that. The final is going to be right on the track. And Monday, there's racing. There's racing on Monday, and it's $1 day. So a big weekend.
All right, everybody, good luck. And guys, thanks for joining us. Let's have a big weekend. And everybody out there, thanks for joining us. Good luck. We'll see you next week. Thanks, guys.